a show of hands for people to think that particular word is the highest value. And I'll also leave you an other choice. So the four words are love, honor, freedom, truth, or other. So, hands for love, highest value. Okay, hands for honor. Okay, hands for freedom. Okay, truth. And other. Well, you got a big one. So, as you can see, the answers were scattered all over the place. A longer version of this list has been used by sociologists over and over again, basically to demonstrate that there isn't really a universal value. Now I'm going to add one. The lives of my loved ones. So, any hands for that? The lives of my loved ones? Okay, this is what happened when Dr. Humphrey conducted this test thousands and thousands of times. When you add that, it immediately gets listed by over 80% as the highest value. And it's a natural human thing to care for our loved ones and to highly value the lives of our loved ones. So immediately after World War II, our presence began to expand and our culture began to get exported globally. And initially we were welcomed, but over the next decade, a new attitude began to emerge in the nations that hosted us. Some of the stories I'll share with you illustrate that this was not entirely undeserved. Professor Humphrey was able to develop a rapport with host nationals, and he was able to ask some revealing questions. But the most revealing question was, what do you want from us? What do you want from us Americans? And what can we do or stop doing to promote better relations? Now, everybody take a minute to think about that and tell me what you think the answer might be. What do you want, and what can we do or stop doing to promote better relations? Any ideas? What do you think that the countries that were hosting American troops, how do you think they answered that question? Please, Beth.
Respect.
Very good. Very good. That was the most frequently heard answer.
What was the answer?
Respect. Respect us as equals. The answer most frequently given boils down to respect us as equals. So answers such as show us respect, view us as equals, treat us as equal, respect our culture, respect our women, don't look down on us, don't act like our bosses, don't call us names, don't consider our lives of less importance than your own, were heard over and over again. And Professor Humphrey collected thousands of these questionnaires during the 50s, 60s, and 70s. And the answers always ended up being some variation of respect us as equals. So, we now have two interesting pieces here. We have a universal value, which is that we all value the lives of our loved ones. And we're hearing over and over again that people want to be respected as equals. So now how do you communicate this, and how do you teach it? And how do you teach it in a way that it has an impact? Well, Professor Humphrey used a collection of stories and metaphors to drive this home, and here are some of them. So the first one is the wild boar hunting story. One day, on a wild boar hunting trip, far out on the Andalusian plateau, a group of U.S. airmen started laughing about a small group of Turkish or Kurdish peasants. The latter had gathered out behind our truck, in which a dozen or so of us hunters were seated up at the bed of the truck on sideboard bench seats. The peasants were trying to get hired as bush beaters. They were indeed a motley sight in their abject destitution, including a child with a large open sore on his face, and flies were swarming all around them. "Look at them," said one of the Americans. "They have nothing to live for. They might as well be dead."